Hi everyone, it's Kathy. Welcome to Treehouse Blues. Today's episode occurs when we lived in Silver Spring, Maryland. I was 6.5. It is called Comeuppance. Hail Mary, full of grace. My first bout with Catholic school education took some getting used to. St. John's Grammar School posed a radical departure from the public domain. Blessed art thou amongst women. One rainy gray afternoon after lunch found me in typical position, standing next to my desk in the back row of the second grade classroom, ramrod posture, beads in hand. The chanting murmur of uniformed boys and girls echoed around me. Bored, I glanced down at my feet. My shoe was untied. Should I bend down now or wait till after the rosary? I nudged Patsy, the girl next to me. Look at my shoe. She glanced down. Don't trip. What if I tied them together? I stuck my tongue out at her and grinned, eyeing her Mary Jane's. I wish I had your shoes. Without warning, an irrepressible bubble lurched upwards from my chest, banging insistently, dangerously close to my throat. Unable to hold it any longer, my lips parted ever so slightly as I succumbed to an attack of the giggles. Patsy soon joined in. Hey, let's trade for a day. Quickly, we crouched down on the cold linoleum and began removing our shoes. The rest of the world faded away as we dove into our brilliant exchange game. Maybe we could wear them home tonight? Yeah. We busied ourselves about the task at hand, absorbed in buckles and laces. All of a sudden, a long, dark wall interrupted my gaze. Beneath it, two ebony shoes pointed straight at me. Slowly, my eyes rose up along that vertical expanse of impenetrable black, only to meet the visage of Sister Mary Margaret surrounded by crinoline. Kathleen Gunn and Patsy McCoy, what in the name of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph are you doing? The rest of the room crystallized into view. 50 pairs of eyeballs stared in horror, mouths gaping beneath. Uh-oh! I felt the heat rise in my face, burning my cheeks as my breathing shot to a halt, everything on hold. The room began to vibrate menacingly with a wong, wong beat. You could have heard a pin drop. Why doesn't anyone say something? About half a century later, the thundercloud face leered down close to mine. Would you like to tell your mother about this, or shall I? I will. Just to be sure, I will write her a note. In the meantime, both of you girls will keep your feet exactly as they are now for the rest of the day. I stared down at the culprits in question. Patsy wore one of my shoes and one of her own. I had only one shoe on, hers. But recess time. Patsy and I exchanged glances. The rain had stopped, but the schoolyard was reduced to puddles. My sock! Patsy zipped her lip with an imaginary key and gestured towards the teacher. Sister M.M. stood guard at the outside door, already ushering out the unusually quiet students. I hesitated at the threshold, eyes peering upward at Sister. Out! I loitered on the cement stoop just outside the door, while Patsy, out of sympathy, returned repeatedly to my home base to offer moral support. Wistfully, I gazed out at girls swinging the giant jump rope. Mabel, Mabel, set the table. Don't forget the red hot peppers. A maze of rivulets lay between us. Once inside again, I hunkered down at my desk in the back until Sister M.M. frowned and marched towards me. With a sweeping gesture of her long black sleeve, she compelled Patsy and me to our feet. You two will sit up at the front, facing the class, so we can all see who disturbed our rosary today. The afternoon wore on interminably. Faces lifted ever so slightly, one by one, as boys and girls sneaked curious glances at us. One boy, Kevin, began snickering comments to his desk buddy, Jimmy. "Kevin Baker, you have talked one time too many. Come up to the front." To our amazement, the long-threatened punishment for garrulous behavior came to be. Quite determinedly, our teacher placed several large strips of masking tape across his mouth. "Now, back to your seat." At long last, the 3 o'clock bell rang. Freedom. "Not so fast. Kathleen and Patsy will stay behind to complete a disciplinary assignment. You will write, 'I will not disturb our classroom rosary again 100 times before you leave here today.'" Panic set in. What will Mommy think when I'm not out there when she comes? My protests were to no avail. Feverishly, I scribbled with heated pencil and sinking heart. Now I would have to explain the whole sordid affair. Tick, tick, tick. Only the methodical clicking of the large wall clock broke the silence. At long last I stood up and shakily handed my paper to Sister. "You may go." She relinquished the missing shoe. Mommy's brow furrowed as I flew down the sidewalk, shoelace flapping in the breeze. "What happened?" I sobbed the whole story out, but refrained from admitting exactly what activity I had interrupted with my behavior. She eyed me carefully a moment. "Never mind. I know you will never do that again." The next Saturday, Patsy arrived for a specially requested playdate. I ushered her into my bedroom. "Okay, let's play school." Patsy knew the routine as we had mentally rehearsed our plan all week. "I'll be the teacher first." My supplies were ready. My chum retrieved her schoolbook from her satchel and sat at my makeshift desk and chair. "Class, I want you to turn to page 14 in your reader." Patsy opened her book and trilled while gazing all around the bedroom. "La, la, 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 la." I drew myself up into all 39 inches of me. With raised arms, I swooped down on my student and yanked her out of her seat. She began to giggle. "You think this is funny, Patsy McCoy?" She shook her head. Then I peeled the Scotch tape off my roll and slapped it across her mouth. Her eyes widened as I pressed layer after layer across the offending aperture. At last I stepped back and surveyed my handiwork. A smile of satisfaction spread throughout my entire body. And the next Monday at school, upon entering Sister Mary Margaret's classroom, I felt the surge of power that came with wearing her shoes. Thank you. Until next time, bye.